So today we have our first subscriber build. One of the subs hit me up, told me that their engine is seized and asked if I could have a look at it. So I said yes, because I'd love to help out where I can. But they said they were riding on a highway and then all of a sudden it just stuck, powered down, no knocking, no sudden noises, just the bike acted like it ran out of fuel. And it's definitely seized. So I guess we just have to work out what happened. Did a ring grab? Is the bottom end seized? Just start exploring. So we'll start from the top, tear it down, and kind of go from there and see what happens. But we might be able to see, yeah, you can see the piston there. It doesn't look too bad. It looks quite clean. I felt it. Let's have a quick feel. Doesn't feel like there's any scratches on there. So I guess once we start digging, we'll find out what's wrong with it. Best case, hopefully just the top end needs a rebuild. Worst case, bottom and top. But we'll start tearing apart and see what we find. One thing I did notice is neutral still spins. There's no movement, there's no clunking noise or anything out of the norm. So at this stage I'm guessing it's maybe crankshaft bearings or top end. Hopefully the transmission's fine. There's no point putting it into first and trying that, because if the top's seized it's not going to work. So we'll start digging. I would like some advice though. If anyone has had a seized engine, skip to the end of the video. I've got a couple of questions, so I'd love to get some advice and learn for future engines. Straight away, gaskets look fine. There's still water left over. Doesn't look like anything's leaked in. But I don't know if we can see that on the camera. Seems to be a big gap at the intake. Let's see if I can rotate the light here. But there's no gap at the exhaust. Yeah, you can see that there. There's like 1 or 2 mil, and then it's nothing. So I think the exhaust ring has grabbed. Maybe it's just a top end rebuild. So that's the power valve. Very crusty. We'll see. I can't slip that off yet. There's looks to be an 8 mil nut there. I wonder if that's the best place to take it off. I guess we live and learn. Now I should be able to just slip that off. Yeah, cool. Problem is I can only do that for one. The rest of them there. Okay, so if I crack that off, I might just spray it a bit with WD-40. I probably should have cleaned it before I undid it, just so there's no dust particles flying around that'll get into the crank. What I am going to do, I don't know if this is a good idea, let me know in the comments. I'm just going to put a bit of WD on that exhaust side. If that is where it's caught, maybe the lubrication will, you know, if it's a ring, maybe it won't strip the nickel plating on the barrel. Just thinking of anything to reduce friction. Just giving it light taps up. I think the piston looks fine. Let me get close up. There's a small mark in there, that line, but nothing that's disastrous, and nothing there that's dead smooth. The rings are moving. That's pivoting. No up and down play. What I think it is, it's this. For some reason the rod, I think the rod's bent. So you can see the crankshaft spinning, but the rod won't pivot. So, yeah, there's no side to side play in that rod. So that's definitely where it's gone wrong. So yeah, you can see there, it's heated up. The rest of the rod is aluminium color or titanium. I don't actually know what that material is, but it's red there, so it's gotten too hot and seized up there. So hopefully the bearings are good and we can reuse that crank and maybe even reuse the whole top end. And while the barrel's out, let's have a look. It's fine. There's no lip at the top. There's nothing on the exhaust or the intake side, so that's good. Looks like it's just that rod. So we'll strip down the bottom end because we don't really have another choice now and go from there. I'm doing this bolt by hand because I don't want to do it with the impact wrench and then jam it into the transmission and break it. So I'm just being safe there. So you have to compress that in for this pin to come out. So I think I'm just going to hit that part with a hammer and a screwdriver and it will come out. But that was quite tight, like quite hard to compress. So maybe there's a tool for that. I just did it by hand. M22 times P1.5 is the thread for this, and it is a reverse thread from memory. Oh no, it's a right hand thread. Interesting. As soon as I've done that, we've got almost unseized the crank rod. But it's definitely acting a bit strange. Listen. It's a clunky motion. So it's definitely, oh yeah, that horizontal movement, not good. So I wonder if it's the rod or the bearing. Be interesting to see. So this is where we're at the moment. We know that this is shot, like we're just going to take that in, get it repressed. Don't know about the piston, if we need to redo it. There's no markings. I guess we'll just measure it up and see if anything's worn. Magneto, all that kind of stuff's fine. Engine cases, we're going to clean it up, and we're going to give the head a bit of a spray paint, and some of these covers, just get them back to that dark grey, make it look brand new. Clutch was all within tolerance. The gears had no issues. The only thing I am thinking, and please, if anyone in the comments has had a seized con rod, I think they're called, let me know, like, what else should I replace? The bearings seem fine, but should I be replacing the bearings if that has seized up? I'd love to get some feedback and see what you guys think. Yeah, so that's the end of this episode. Next episode will be the rebuild, or I'll bridge these two together. I'm not sure if I'll make it a two-part or one-part, but let me know what you think, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one once we get that fixed, and we'll start rebuilding and assessing all the specs and do an engine rebuild, hopefully.